Hi, my name is Amy Schweizer, founder and director of Tiny Troop Soccer. I'm so excited to join Katie in the Gold Medal Coaching Program. On our intensive day, Katie was kind enough to allow my director of operations as well as my assistant director to join us. We had 4 hours of one-on-one personalized coaching that was directly for our business. Katie is the first professional that I've come across that is focused on children's activities business. So that is what first drew us to her. After taking her Scale to Freedom Accelerator, I knew that this would be a great fit, and the focus day just completely solidified that. We're excited to work on our marketing programs as well as our affiliate locations. I'm excited to see what Katie has in store and how my business is going to grow. Thank you.
Hi there, my name's Shelley and I run a theatre school business for children called Stepping Out Stars of Tomorrow, hence the bowler hat and the show pictures in the background. I've had my school for 15 years and absolutely love doing what I do, and I've had several business coaches through that period, but I just felt with Katie that I really connected to her. She was really lovely on the phone. I felt that she had a wealth of experience which would really help me take my business to the next level. And that's not to say that the coaches that I'd had before weren't great, because they really were, but I really like the fact that Katie's mentorship had lots of different children's activities in it, and I think it's fantastic that I can learn from football coaches or rugby coaches. It's not just about dance and performing arts, and that was something that really struck a chord with me. I've been in the membership for the last couple of months, and I've really enjoyed the time that I have already started to implement some of the amazing things that Katie has suggested. The first being bringing an extra 55,000 into my business, which could be fantastic if that comes off. So yeah, I'm really super happy and really recommend the CEO membership. It's great.
Welcome to our Accelerator Cash Flow. We are literally about to get started, but before we go into the incredible training that we've got planned for you, I just wanted to give you a bit of an intro, because if you're anything like me, I always want to know exactly who I'm learning from and what they have done, that I know they're the right person to help me. So I'm Katie Cannon, lovely to meet you. I can't wait to be with you, to hold your hand and nurture you to success this week. My background, I was a 5 times British gymnastics champion representing Great Britain at 2 world and 2 European championships, and then went on to become a 7-figure entrepreneur in this industry, in our incredible children's activity and sports world. And I really wanted to take my passion from gymnastics and turn it into a business. Fast forward 20 years, I am honored to come to you today with so much experience, ranging from 20 years of building gyms and classes, you name it, I've done it in this industry. I've done the village halls, I've done the leisure centers, the communities, I've done the franchise models, they're having hundreds of different schools and the school gym model. I've then built my own centers. I've tried multiple different things. I've had the highs of the highs and the lowest of the lows. I've had times where I've not paid myself. I've had times where I've had betrayal of team members and have failed employees. I've had times where I'm building teams and times when my teams are failing. You name it, I've done it over the last 20 years. But I'm also going to come with you with not just so much knowledge to help you build a thriving, profitable business. My number one mission for children's activity entrepreneurs is not to be the business owner. I want you to be the CEO so that you can then go on to build other income streams if you wish. Over the last 20 years of experience, I have been able to then move my experience into building other companies. I'm now the CEO today of 4 different companies in different areas that range from the online coaching space to the traditional business model and bricks and mortar of traditional business. And why is that so important? It is important because I not only teach you strategy that works in the traditional market of the children's activity world, I'm teaching you how to build in the online space as well, which is so incredibly powerful for your marketing and for your mindset and your discipline and your leadership. You mix traditional business with online business and you bring them together. You have a rocket ship of a business model, and you as the leader will be a rocket leader. There'll be no literally stone unturned. You know you've got everything covered from your end as an entrepreneur. And that is why I'm very excited to welcome you this week, where we're going to have so much fun together, where I'm going to be going through all the different income streams that I want you to start building into your business in 2025. So we're literally about to get started. Get yourself a drink, get yourself a big pad of paper. You're going to make loads and loads of notes. Let's get started.
Welcome everybody to our day 3. Go so quick. We're Thursday already. Day 3 of our cash flow accelerator. Whether you're on Zoom, whether you're on our YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, welcome to our day 3 of our cash flow accelerator. So far this week, to recap, if you haven't managed to catch the replays on Tuesday and Thursday, I want you to reach out in the live streams or on the chat with us and literally just put replay, so myself and my team can make sure we get that across to you. It'll also be sent to you on the email as well when you've registered for this live event this week. So what have we covered so far on day 1 and 2? We've really covered on day 1 very much generating recurring cash flow revenue with ease. We've then looked at how we can then very much start to look at, I can't find my notes have gone here. Here we go. They've disappeared. Unlocking your instant cash flow. So we're building on our monthly memberships that we're building into our programs, unlocking that instant cash flow. And then today, we're really going to start working on together and showing you how to start building this together, but very much looking at how we can double your enrollment cash flow. So the last couple of days, we've worked at the front end, like how can we internally build on your cash flow? Today, I really want to think like that person coming in, what can we build? How can we increase your cash flow with each enrollment and each student that is coming in? So if you haven't yet grabbed your workbook, if you're brand new today and you've literally just signed up today and want to get the recordings, make sure you've also got our workbook. It literally looks like this that you can see. And as I said, the workbook isn't for every note, every word that I say. It is literally the feedback we've had so far. I want you to be able to say one thing to me and say, Katie, this is the one thing that stood out. This is the one thing I'm going to implement. As I said, whether you're watching this live, we've had many people this week watching this on replays and reaching out, sending out the one-word answers of, yes, I'm implementing this. This is what I'm working on. That is what the workbook needs to be. It's not head down, let's scribble everything across, because I want you to implement and not just write. And there's a big difference. You know, when you go to a conference, sometimes you're like, oh my God, that was amazing. My mind is blown. I've got so much information. It takes you a couple of weeks to recover. And then you're like, oh, I don't actually know where to start. So always be implementing, you know, best to be implementing the small pieces than trying to implement all of it all at once. So when we're looking at doubling your enrollment through cash flow, we want to look at how can we increase registrations on the front end. This is your internal marketing on the front end with each enrollment. So 2 things I want you to think about when you're doing this. I want you to look at where can you increase per member. One of the most popular ways to do this is by adding in a registration fee. Now, a registration fee, this will look different, as I've said all week, whether you're business to business or business and it's a franchise, or it's an individual, sole trader, or you're an individual team. It's going to look different depending on whether you can implement this or you can't. So adding in a registration fee can be fantastic in 2 ways. 1, it's going to increase your cash flow. 2, it's going to decrease your admin. When you increase or package it together in a registration fee, I'm going to give you a couple of examples in a minute, you will find you're increasing your cash flow on the front end and then saving throughout the year by having to really slowly but surely track this every step of the way. So when we're doing this, how we've done this really successfully is bulking together. When you're looking at a registration fee, it's looking at, for so long, we had bits of payment here and there which would drive you bananas. So we'd have different payments here and there. That would be maybe a competition entry, or it's a badge registration, or it's a particular certificate, or it's a particular, oh, because we had so many where we would start to really pull these together, or it would be like a what was the biggest one that we had that I can't remember what it was that used to drive us bananas. It was more towards the badges, it was more towards to do with the certificates, it was more to do with packaging things up from the front end. And I'm going to share an example that we had with very much in the early days. We helped someone in their business do this. And this was, I'm just checking our connection because I'm getting a message saying this is going in and out. 2 seconds. Yeah, no, that's all fine. They were charging throughout the year for so many different things, from show entries, events, competitions. That was the other one, shows that we used to do. And it was a nightmare on administration. It was a nightmare of every 6 weeks thinking, we need to add this in, we need to get some admin out, we need to get a letter out, our admin team are following this up. It might be £10 here, £5 there. It all accumulates. It can make your cash flow really tricky and rocky throughout the year, but also your admin is going to go through the roof. So when your registration fee, this is your chance to package things up and get money on the front end. So if you're selling any uniform, if you're selling any particular events, if you're selling any particular rewards, trophies, medals, competition events, we package this up in one amount as a registration fee for when they join. We package it up so we know exactly what it is. We know exactly what we're spending. We know exactly the profit margins on it. And we know exactly how that is fitting in with our plan. So you're not missing out through the year, but you're actually putting it together as one plan where actually people can bring it together and they can save. You can really be clear on your registration fee. These are the benefits. This is what you're going to save, and bulk it together in one nice registration fee. That in itself will bring miracles to your enrollment process on the front end and will dramatically save the stress throughout the year. You then also know who is registered for each event, who is coming to each particular competition, especially if you make it mandatory. Certain events, certain competitions might be an extra. But it's a lot easier when you say, okay, this is your registration box. This is what you're going to get. This is the T-shirt for because you need your mandatory uniform, rather than being like, this is £10 for your uniform. This is X amount for your insurance. This is X amount to enter our 2 competitions that we do a year. Okay. So number 1 is your registration fee. Number 2, looking at where you can upsell your product suites. So when you're upselling your product suites, what is your product suite? It is basically along your process, what are your income streams? Whether it's camps, parties, holiday camps. Where can you sell when you've got someone coming in on a new enrollment? What other service are they going to be interested in? Now, so often you're thinking they've just bought from me, they've just bought and you just become a trial. I don't want to sell them anything. They've just become a trial. I'm not saying you upsell it all in one conversation, but if they've become a member on the 1st of October, then give them a call on the 10th of October. See how they're getting on. Let them know that you've got a holiday camp coming up in 2 weeks' time for half term. Let them know about other activities that may interest them. So you're not going in and being like, by the way, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. You're filtering it through the customer journey. So let's say they become a member on the 1st of October. You then ask them, maybe like I said, 15th of October-ish, whether you let them know you've got a holiday camp. You can then leave them alone. What have you next got coming up? Let's have a look in maybe November, December. What have you then got coming up? Is there a Christmas event? Is there a particular competition, a workshop? So you're constantly upselling them, but in a strategic way. You're not being annoying. You're not calling them every day. You're not emailing them every day. But once a quarter, once every 2 months, you're giving your customer a call and you're letting them know. That's all you're doing. You're letting them know about what's coming up and if they're interested in booking a half-term camp. Now, when you do this, so many times people say, but I sent an email, no one's interested, Katie. That's because many people aren't reading their emails and it might have gone into junk or spam. If you can cover your back with a phone call, with an email, tick in the box, okay? So really, really think, where can you, and we call it a product suite for a reason. That's your income streams are your product suite. They need to be thought like that. They need to be really broken down in that exact way and thinking about your business in that way. Income stream is an upsell. The next income stream is an upsell, rather than having all these income streams that are never sold. So when you add the registration fee and you add the product suite together, mixed with what I've been teaching on day 1 and day 2, you will start to see the natural flow of how you are not running out of students, on how each and every time you are not being like, oh, where's that next student coming from? Where's that next camp registration coming from? Where's that next party registration camp coming from? Because your suite is so organized and everybody's in different sections and you know where everyone is on their journey, you know exactly where that person is coming from. If you need further support with this, as I've been talking all week, this is all in our bronze mentorship. It's one of our core systems on building out your product suites and building out your core systems that are fundamental if you're serious about building a children's activity business that can last. So doubling your enrollment cash flow comes with those 2 things, 2 little ideas for you: registration fees, product suites. One that I want you to start thinking about is what you're charging per product. So moving on now to your discounting. Where are you discounting? Where are you taking a bit of hit that you perhaps shouldn't be? And I want you to think about these couple of areas. The first one is no free trials. Now, we have done this for years. We used to do free trials. And it wasn't till, I remember it very clearly, we had about 200 trials one very busy September. And it was a nightmare calling them all back. 50% I don't think showed up. Why? They've got no monetary value in the game. It's a free trial. Why do we need to communicate? Why do we need to show up? We found when we moved across from a free trial to a paid trial, we found our conversions went up. It reduced our administration time. And why your paid trials are so important, that is paying for your marketing. If you're spending £1,000 plus a month on Facebook ads and you bringing in 60, 70 trials a month, that's your marketing nearly paid for, depending obviously what you're charging per trial. But this can be really powerful in your business model on the front end of making sure your marketing is being ticked and your front end marketing for your Facebook ads is being ticked. Now, the other reason, sometimes you may think, but you know, they might come along and they might just suddenly have a free trial and suddenly be interested. Now, of course, yes. But in my 18 years of experience in this industry, I still hear people on the phone from my sales team that will say, nope, the trial is X amount. It's the price of a class. We actually charge £3 more. Our normal class rate is £14 an hour. And we actually charge 17 for a trial. The reason why? A trial takes more effort for our team. You're welcoming. You're doing a lot more of an intro. It takes a lot more effort for a trial to be introduced to the class. A lot more effort, a lot more canoodle, a lot more, basically give them a lot more love, a lot more support, especially if the kid is crying. So we often make sure we've always got extra staff on hand to deal with certain trials, especially during busy periods. So that's another reason we don't do free trials. So we found, and I said, I hear this on the phones where someone might say, oh, is it a free trial? And we say, no, a trial is £17. And they say, oh, I'm not interested then. I'm telling you now, that person had no interest of probably ever coming. They just wanted the free trial. They wanted the free trial and they were just going to come. They had no interest of signing up. We have never had anyone that was like, do you know what? Majority of people, when they book a trial and they're committed to it and they paid for it, we convert about 60 or 70% of those, because you've got the people that are willing to pull their card out the bag and pay for it. We all know when you've got a bit of skin in the game, when you've got a bit of, we used to do, I remember this, I'm going to share this. When we had our bronze mentorship and we just launched it, we did a beta program with it, which basically means we gave a few people access to our mentorship for free for them to give us their feedback when we first launched it. 1 person out of 10 actually did it. Why is that? Because they didn't pay for it. When you don't pay for something, you haven't got value. You're not going to give it its seriousness that it needs to get results. And there's a reason. We actually used to do in our bronze mentorship, we used to do a free trial for 3 days. I guarantee majority of people never did anything with that free trial in 3 days and actually just signed up. So we vanished that. There was no point of having a free trial because no one actually could consume content in 3 days anyway, because there's a lot of value in there. Same with your free trials. So when it's a teeny amount for a trial. It's not a big investment. They are trialing the class. They just got to pay for it. It's a one, you've still got the premises, you've still got the staff to pay for. Why should it be a free session? So that's for free trials. Number 2, sibling discounts. You can take this advice for sibling discounts depending where your business is at. We have done both over the years. We've had sibling discounts, we've taken sibling discounts away. It really depends on how many spaces you've got. It depends on your bottom line margins, and it really depends on your overheads. We found both success in both. But sometimes when you're completely full to the brim, doing sibling discounts isn't always the best way forwards, because you don't go to, like, I'm going to say, give you an example. You're booking flights. They're not going to say, do you know what, you've got 2 kids. We're going away next week. I paid the same amount for 3 children's tickets than I did for 2 adult tickets. They didn't give me a refund just because I got 3 children. I do feel very strongly about that when it comes to sibling discounts. Certain restaurants, you might get a discount on, like, buy 2 meals, get 1 free or whatever. But in general, if you're a new premises or a brand new business, yes, you need business, bring them in, offer them a discount. But when you're getting to the point where you have a waiting list and you have got people that are being turned away because 3 other people are paying like 20% less, then you need to look at, do we want to offer this or can we scrap it? If you do a sibling discount, absolutely no more than 15%. Absolutely no more. The most we've always done is like 10%. So no trials, but no free trials, sibling discount, and then know when to raise your prices. You should be raising your prices, but like annually, because the cost of inflation is going up. So you need to be raising them annually. Now, when you're doing this, look, I mentioned this in the week, look at the cost of what your business is taking to run. Don't just think I need to raise them by 6% every year. We've raised them by 15% before. We've raised them by 2%. We've raised them by 6%, because depending on our finances, it depends on what we need the business to be making. It depends on what our overheads have gone up by. It depends on many, many, many different factors. You make this decision based on your individual business and what your business needs. So I want you to look at the key things, whether you're discounting, and the key things that I've talked about today to help you, to really support you with bringing more income in the front end. Now, when you're building with what we've done on day 1, day 2, day 3, you start building them together. You will start to see, and you're building this consistently over like a 12-month period, you will start to see a much more healthier business. It's not, Rome's not built in a day. This is not going to happen in 2 or 3 months. You will start to see improvements, but you need to see a full business cycle. You need to see a full business cycle of months, of seasons, of implementing everything we've taught you, that you can start building and basically put it brick on brick throughout your business. Now, as I said on Tuesday and Wednesday, our bronze mentorship, if you are, and you've been watching all this week and you're thinking, I'm either brand new to business and I drastically need some support. As I said, I very much wish Gold Medal Business existed on day 1 of my gymnastic business 18 years ago. Or you're very established in business, but you need support. You might be stuck. You might be feeling like your business isn't moving. You need inspiration. I heavily, heavily, heavily recommend take a look at our bronze mentorship. It's 49 quid. That's it. It's like the cost of a takeaway per month, if not less, because takeaways are more than that. It's 49 quid, literally per month, for till Friday only. It then goes back up to 59, which is its normal price. But this will give you access to core systems that we have refined over the last 18 years of what is going to make your business profitable in the children's activity industry. As I said, if you are trying to do this on your own and you are trying to create your own playbook, you are choosing the longest way around and the most expensive way. It's like trying to drive a car without being taught. You're going to crash it many times and have a lot of insurance bills. It's exactly the same with business. You cannot build a business by yourself without a community and without mentors who have been there and done it. A little bit more information. Glia, can you just put our details in the live chats and about the Bronze mentorship and into the chat box for me? Our Bronze mentorship is core systems you get access to. You get 6 core systems and you get 1 call a month of one-off Q&A. Well, it's 2 calls a month, actually. It's 1 Q&A and it's 1 training. So you get access to myself every single month for a live training. It's a group training. And you also get access to our other coaches within our network. As a collective, we have over 60 years of experience in the children's activity industry. So as I've said all week, if you are serious about building a business, this should be absolutely non-negotiable, because you need the support and the backbone of your business to know that you've got the right roadmap to success. So Glia's put the details in the chat box for you, and they'll be on the live streams in the lives. If you're watching this on replay, I want you to check your email or check it on the Facebook page, and you will see the details on how to access our Bronze mentorship for 49 quid, which is literally valid till, I think, Glia, have I got that right? Is it valid till tomorrow night? Just pop that in the chat and let me know. That would be great. Perfect. Anyway, next week, is it Monday, Glia? Thank you, Glia. Okay, so you've got till Sunday night. Perfect. Glia, can you just pop the link in the chat box for me? That's not showing up on my Zoom. There it is. So that's a bit slow, Glia. Perfect. Fantastic. Okay, so I really hope you've enjoyed the live accelerator this week. As I said, go back to the replays. You've got day 1, which was Tuesday, day 2, which was Wednesday, and day 3, which was Thursday. If you need to watch any of the replays, they'll be sent to you on email, and they'll also been popped into the live Facebook group as well. So thank you so much for joining me this week. We look forward to supporting you and welcome you into our Bronze mentorship. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.